Okay, so now we're going to finish the face and head details. So I'm just going to wet that nicely. Yes, I'll wet it all, just really carefully so that you don't lift the colour. I'm not going to wet in the white area that I left dry before around the eyes. And I am just wetting it all right down to the nose. And to the top of the head. That will do nicely, and I'll just wet it down here too. So I'm just going to drop some dark in there eventually. Just a nice edge there. They have quite a protruding part over the other eye, which we can't see the other eye, but it pokes out over there. So then I'm going to pick up my Hematite Violet, Sepia and Sugilite and have a little play with those colours. So I'm going to start, oh gosh, it's already dried out. When you wet for a second layer, it seems to absorb a lot more quickly. So I'm just going to drop a bit more water on here, and it won't spread nearly as nicely. You get that one shot at this, and then it's not as spready after that. So I'm going to start with the sepia because that's the least spready colour, and I want it to spread, and I'm going to do underneath. I'm going to drop it in underneath the eye like that. Probably got a little bit too much on my, bring it down here. And a little bit up the side there. Just let that, I'll just put that on a very slight tilt so it's going downhill. I'll put my trusty glasses case on that corner just so that it's kind of running down that way. Then I'm just going to put a little bit down here and darken up that colour on the side. And whilst I'm there, I'm rinsing off my brush and picking up some Hematite Violet, which is also darker and more kind of granulating. And I'll just do a little bit more around here. Drop it in. So we want to keep the nice light tufty bit. Can you see? We want to keep the nice light bit that's here and keep this light bit here. So I think that's enough of that. So now I've got hematite on my brush. So I'll go up to the top side and see that's already dried a bit. So I'll just drop a little bit more water up there. So I'm just going to drop some, just using that kind of shaky hand effect, some more hematite up there just to give some darks and lights. And just a little bit around there just to sort of shape that. A little bit more around here. And over the top of his nose. It's a nice light patch here. I'll just go over the top here and down here. It just forms the shape of his nose, and then there's and around his little snout down here. Rinse off my brush, and here comes the Sugilite. It's the soft purpley kind of cooler colour. And we'll go a little bit out here. And I'll just create that shape for his, where his other eye is on the other side. I'll just pick up a little bit of the hematite, the darker colour, just to pronounce that a little bit, and a few little flicky bits here. And a little bit of dark under his, at the bottom of his little nose, just to make it go in at the bottom, so it looks a bit more twitchy. I just wet the top of it because it's not very wet here, and drop a little bit more in there, just to give it a bit more shape. I think that's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to use a little brush, a little fine brush. This is a number 1. And sepia, which I know doesn't spread too far. And I'm just going to do some negative painting up into that space so that it feels like his little jawline is furry, not just a hard line. Because I've got some nice darks underneath there, like so. And then I pick up a little bit of the Sugarlight, not too much, and this is my grey, and I'm just going to make his fur look a bit more pale grey than just white. Yeah, I think we're just about there. Then clean water on my brush. Or maybe I'll just leave that line till later. I'll just let the line, the white line around here, around his eye, I'll just leave it till it's a little bit drier. I'll just do a few little flicks in there so that it feels a little bit furry. And same at the top. We don't want a solid thing of white around his eye all the way around. It's looking pretty good. Maybe it needs a little bit of buff titanium on the top side because it's quite bright white here. So I'll just tone it down with a bit of buff titanium, which is kind of a creamy colour. It's still light. I'll just put a little drop here. It's still wet there. And a little bit of down here. I think that's enough.